Heather Campbell here, and today I have a video to share how to create your own ombre accents, and we're going to use markers to do this. I'm also going to be using the new Ariel numbered balloons dies. These are so cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've cut up a bunch of little scraps of white paper, and then you can see I'm just taking my Copics and I'm going from the darkest shade to the lightest shade, and I've picked about 3 or 4 markers based upon the color stories that I'm going to use, and I'm just making sure to blend as I bring that darker shade down with my lighter marker. And then you'll also notice I go back in at the top and add a little bit more dark until I get a nice ombre that I really like. So I'm going to go ahead and put the music on and work through the rest of the colors so you can just see how this works. Alright, so now that I have all my coloring done, I am ready to put my die cuts through my big shot. So I'm using my magnetic platform and I'm just moving them all over here. And I love the magnetic platform because it prevents them from shifting too much, which definitely helps. So I'm going to run them through my big shot and then I'm just going to poke them all out. So I'm using my tweezers to poke them out and it works great. They fit right through the holes, and I am ready to start on the card base. So I'm going to stamp a sentiment in black ink, and this is from the numbered balloons stamp set, which coordinates very well with this set, and it also has some great strings that we'll be using. So originally I pulled out the dotted dies, but I decided at the last minute I wanted to use the dotted borders. So I'm just using a bit of washi tape to secure it down and give it a dotted edge on both sides of my panel. So that way I can have some pattern papers peeking out from behind it once I'm all done. So once I get my dotted borders along both sides, I'm going to go ahead and position my balloons. And I want to do this so I know where to stamp my strings. Once I have them all positioned, I'm going to take my pencil and mark very lightly under each of the balloons where the string needs to end. And here you can see just the pencil marks. And then I'm going to take my Silver Fox ink and begin to stamp my strings. Now, when I stamp my string, I'm going to be pretty carefree as to where they go. I think it kind of helps with the strings. They don't look forced that way. And I'm just going to flip it up and down so that way I can have my loops in different spots. Now as I get to the spot near the sentiment, this string is going to have to be pretty short. So I'm actually taking that piece of paper so I can stamp off onto that, and that way I don't have to be too careful about what I ink up and what I don't. So I'm just going to finish all the strings, and then I can begin to work on getting the balloons onto the card. So now I'm just going to use my adhesive roller and add a little bit of adhesive to each of these numbers to secure them on the card. And you'll see me later actually pull a few of them up to add some white behind them because of the overlaps, but we will get to that later. Anyways, I just am going to secure all my numbers down, and I also, one trick is when you pull them off in the order that you're going to put them back on. This way I knew I liked the colors where I had them in the first, when I first concepted the card. So another trick is you can use your phone, but I didn't have my phone with me. So here they all are. So now I'm going to get my pattern paper, and I am on this card using a 6x6 pattern paper from the Neutral collection, and I pulled out that black and white stripe. And I cut it down into 2 strips. Then I'm also going to use a top folding card base from the Midnight collection, and this is the one that has Silver Fox, Fog, and then the black. And I absolutely love these top folding cards. So I'm going to go ahead and secure my pattern paper right to my card, and then I can put my card front onto this. Now you'll notice if you look at the picture of the card at the beginning of the video or on my blog, I ended up having to switch out what that little panel was on. There was an incident with a 4-year-old and that original card, so I had to do a little surgery, but I was able to retain that top base. I just didn't have another sheet of that paper, so that's a problem I'm going to have to fix. But now I'm going to go ahead and add some sequins. So as always, I use glue dots and my tweezers to adhere my sequins to my card. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them everywhere on my card. Okay, so here's where I decided that I couldn't handle this overlap right there with the 2. So I went and die cut one more 2 out of white, and then I gently peeled it up and then just very carefully placed it right on top of the 2, so you couldn't even tell really that there was another one behind it. And I actually ended up really liking the dimension of it. And it just made me happy being able to see white there behind the 2. So then I decided I wanted to do the same thing with the 3. So I went and die cut a 3 and then pulled that up as well. And the one thing you just need to be careful about when you do that is to make sure you don't pull up those little spots with your adhesive roller. So I went very slowly over that spot and made sure to get a lot of glue so that they don't pop out later. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned about how to create your own ombre accents. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.